Before the first pyramid rose from the sands, before Sumer carved the first word into clay, before man even called himself civilized, there were others. Entire civilizations that thrived, built, worshipped, and vanished. Their cities swallowed by jungles, their monuments buried in sand, their knowledge turned to myth. We call them ghost civilizations, the lost empires that time tried to erase. The truth is, history is not a straight line. It's a circle, a cycle of rise, fall, and rebirth. For every civilization that we remember, there may have been dozens that we have forgotten. And deep within our collective memory, in the myths of floods, gods, and golden ages, lie the faint echoes of those who came before us. Our story begins more than 12,000 years ago, at the end of the Ice Age. The earth was melting, oceans were rising, and something extraordinary was happening. In the region we now call Turkey, atop a barren hill, stood a place that should not exist, Göbekli Tepe. Massive stone pillars arranged in perfect circles, carved with strange symbols and animals. These stones weigh up to 20 tons each, placed with precision that even modern machines would struggle to replicate. Archaeologists call it the world's first temple, but the real question is, how could hunter-gatherers with no tools, no metal, and no writing have built it? Even more mysterious, Göbekli Tepe was buried intentionally. Someone covered it up thousands of years ago, as if to hide it. But from who? Or what? Some believe it was sealed to protect knowledge from a world that was ending, a world consumed by a great flood. Across the planet, ancient cultures share the same story, an advanced age destroyed by water and fire. The Bible tells of Noah's flood, the Sumerians wrote of Utnapishtim, the Greeks spoke of Deucalion, the Hindus told of Manu. From the Americas to Asia, the same tale repeats. The gods warned humanity, the earth convulsed, and the ocean swallowed the cities of men. Could these myths be memories of real cataclysms? Modern science supports the idea that something devastating happened around 12,800 years ago. A sudden return to glacial conditions known as the Younger Dryas. Temperatures dropped, species vanished, and coastlines disappeared beneath hundreds of feet of water. Many scientists now suspect a massive comet impact triggered it, raining fire across the planet. If that's true, what would it have done to any advanced human culture living at the time? It would have erased them. Overnight. Let's imagine this world, one that existed before the flood. A world where humanity had already begun to master the earth. Not with machines and electricity, but with a form of knowledge lost to us, perhaps a deeper understanding of energy, sound, and the harmony of nature. We find hints of their presence all around us. In the Andes Mountains, the ruins of Puma Punku reveal stone blocks cut with laser-like precision, some weighing hundreds of tons. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid aligns perfectly with the stars of Orion's belt. In the Pacific, Nan Madol stands as a city built on coral platforms, a network of basalt pillars so vast it has been called the Venice of the Pacific. None of these sites fit the timeline of human development as we know it. Each one whispers the same impossible question: who built them? Let's travel now to the ocean floor. Off the coast of India, near Dwarka, divers have discovered the remains of walls, roads, and pillars. A sunken city mentioned in Hindu scripture as the home of Lord Krishna. Radiocarbon dating suggests it may be 9,000 years old, long before the pyramids or Stonehenge. The ancient texts said Dwarka was swallowed by the sea after a great war. For centuries, scholars dismissed it as legend, until they found the ruins. Farther east, near the island of Yonaguni in Japan, lies another mystery. Beneath the waves stands a colossal stone structure, resembling a stepped pyramid. Its sharp angles and terraces look carved, not natural. Some say it's a remnant of an ancient civilization destroyed by rising seas. Others argue it's a trick of geology. But when divers swim through its hallways and doorways, they can't shake the feeling that someone once lived there. And what of the Amazon rainforest, long thought to be untouched wilderness? In recent years, LiDAR scanning has revealed vast city grids, roads, and temples hidden beneath the canopy. This was no wild jungle. It was a garden built by human hands. A civilization so vast it covered the heart of South America, forgotten, erased by time and nature. All across the globe, these ruins tell a story our textbooks refuse to acknowledge, that humanity's past is far older, far stranger, and far more advanced than we dare to admit. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, wrote of Atlantis, a great island empire that sank in a single day and night of misfortune. He described its circular city layout, its magnificent temples, and its pride before the fall. Most modern historians call it a myth, but every myth begins somewhere. Could Atlantis have been real, one of these prehistoric ghost civilizations, destroyed by the same cataclysm that ended the Ice Age? The strange part is, the legend of Atlantis is not unique. The ancient Hindus spoke of Lemuria, a continent that sank beneath the Indian Ocean. The Mayans spoke of cities that rose and vanished before their own time. The Polynesians tell of Hiva, a lost homeland swallowed by the waves. Everywhere you look, the same story appears: civilizations rising, thriving, and then disappearing without a trace. But maybe not all were lost. Maybe fragments survived, pockets of survivors who carried knowledge into the next world. Ancient Egyptian priests told the Greek historian Solon that civilization was far older than the Greeks knew. They said the gods had destroyed mankind many times, and each time, survivors began again. Could these survivors have become the mysterious builders of the first temples and pyramids? Many myths speak of teachers who came after the flood, beings who brought light, writing, and wisdom. The Sumerians called him Enki. The Egyptians knew him as Thoth. The Mayans spoke of Kukulkan. The Andes had Viracocha. They all share the same story: bearded figures descending from the sky or across the sea, bringing knowledge to rebuild humanity. Were they gods, angels, or the last remnants of those ghost civilizations? Even in our modern world, the traces remain. Strange maps like the Piri Reis chart show Antarctica without ice, drawn centuries before satellites. Ancient carvings depict men flying in machines, cities powered by unknown energies, and devices that look eerily like modern technology. Are these artistic fantasies, or distant memories passed down from a forgotten time? Perhaps the most haunting question is this: why did they disappear? Was it the wrath of nature, the judgment of gods, or the inevitable consequence of pride and power? The Book of Enoch, the Sumerian tablets, and even Greek mythology speak of divine punishment, of beings who misused forbidden knowledge. The flood, the fire, the fall, it always ends the same way. What if we are walking the same path again? The more we uncover, the more it seems history repeats itself. We build, we advance, we dominate nature, and then we fall. The ruins under the sea, the pyramids in the desert, and the temples carved into mountains may not just be relics. They may be warnings. When we look at the world today, our technology, our hunger for power, our fragile balance with nature, are we any different from the civilizations that came before? They too may have thought themselves invincible, chosen, enlightened, until everything vanished. The earth keeps its secrets well, but every earthquake, every excavation, every satellite scan brings us closer to remembering. Beneath our feet lie layers of time, and beneath those layers, the ghosts of worlds long gone. So the next time you hear the word myth, remember, myths are not lies. They are memories, faded, fragmented, and half-remembered truths from the civilizations that walked this earth before us. The ruins are real. The patterns are clear. And maybe, just maybe, the ghost civilizations of the past are not as gone as we think. Perhaps they are waiting for us to remember who we were before the flood, before the fire, before history began. Because what if we are not the first great civilization of man, but the last,